Hi, and welcome to Bululú Wellness, your guide to well-being. Here, we simplify health with practical and easy-to-use tools to help you live a healthier life. Hello, and welcome to Bululú Wellness, your space for science, soul, and tools to build lasting energy and resilience. Here's where we're rebuilding energy from the root, one episode at a time. Today's episode is a little different. I want to take you behind the scenes, behind my story, and tell you how the energy reset was born. Because it wasn't from a textbook, it was from a lived experience. As you listen to the past episodes, I was telling you how, as a fitness instructor, traveling around the nation, teaching choreography to people was the most incredible job ever. Yet, because I was teaching so much, plus my fitness classes in my local community, I was getting a lot dysregulated, either not fueling enough, not resting enough, and also always being on a high intensity mode. There was a time also that I was chasing a number on the scale. Being in the fitness industry, you really want to look a certain way because you are the representative of a big, well-known company. And also my personal goals, I always felt that I was on the bigger side. And I hope that you listen to that episode, which is a little bit sad, but at the same time, I learned how to have compassion with myself. Now, I thought I was doing all the right things, right? Like eating clean, tracking every bite, pushing myself in workouts. I belong to some companies that will promote some resets and cleanses and eating extremely healthy, almost like really low calorie. And I thought I was truly being healthy. I lost 20 pounds in 21 days, and that was magic to me. I finally thought, ooh, this is the secret of being the way I want to look. And that was always pushing towards those numbers. But my body was saying otherwise. One of the important things for me is that I love checking labs because at that time I had no knowledge and I had no idea that a lot of the actions that I was doing, it was affecting my biochemistry. But also physically, I was drained and anxious and my mood was in a weird spot. And I was completely disconnected from my own rhythm and my own body because I had to perform. So there was no moment in time that I could stop and accept what was going on. I just needed to keep going, especially if that is the way that you are making money. But that's when I realized also that the goal wasn't to lose as much weight as possible. The real goal to me in this moment of life is to honor my physiology and work with my body, not against it. So when I receive my labs that I talked about in the last episode, and I see how depleted my vitamin D is, my ferritin levels, my cortisol were really high, my thyroid TPO started to be elevated, that's when it was my wake-up call. And I decided to shift and change everything at that point. And now it is the foundation of the work that I do and the program that I created, helping people live longer, and it's a blueprint to longevity. For a long time, I worked with programs that will put you in a box with certain amount of calories you have to consume, certain amount of grams of protein, certain amount of carbohydrates, but yet people that are doing those programs still don't understand the importance of foods. They don't really understand what food diversity is for the gut microbiome. They're also doing it with expectations of that scale to move. Yet when you finish a program like that and you lost weight and you never understood how everything works, then the weight comes back. And this is why it was so important for me when I created something that it would not mimic exactly that. People will see results, but they will understand the why of the results. And if they want to keep those results, they need to sustain and maintain a diverse diet or a lifestyle. But more important than that, one of the biggest things that I work in that energy reset is really understanding regulation. So that's why the first phase of my program, it's all about adrenals and cortisol. Because without working on your adrenals and your cortisol, you will never see the result you want. What is the energy reset? It is a 21-day experience that we start rebuilding from the inside out. Not with restrictions, not with the streams. In fact, some people think that is too easy and they think that that is not going to work for them. But it is understanding fuel and regulation. In the first 3 weeks, I focus on the nervous system awareness, the blood sugar and cortisol balance, gentle movement, nourishing, anti-inflammatory support, and real-time energy building through metabolism. It's the stuff that nobody teaches you when you're stuck in diet mode or burned out. In fact, I've worked with multiple trainers and multiple nutritionists, and nobody ever have told me that I needed to regulate my nervous system. And it's just not about being perfect. It's about rewiring how we treat our bodies, how we eat, how we move, how do we recover. I am obviously so passionate about what I am starting to develop because I am seeing the results and the magical results that I see in people and how they feel so much better with their bodies. But even if you're not joining the program just yet, here's something I want you to try. In a journal, write down, what would it feel like to wake up with energy? What does a regulated, resilient body feel like for you? Then ask yourself, what's one small thing that you can do today to support your vision? Maybe it's eating a full breakfast. Maybe it's skipping the guilt and taking a walk. Maybe it's finally resting. Let that be your reset. If you're ready for guidance, community, and real results, the energy research is coming in the fall, and I will be so happy to have you as part of this group. Thank you for being here. Your energy is sacred. You don't have to keep running on empty. Let's rebuild with rhythm, nourishment, and love. See you next week. If you enjoy what you hear, subscribe and share it with someone who might need it. The more people join us, the closer we get to building a wellness community for everyone. Thank you for being here. Now let's navigate this Bululú together. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any condition or disease. If you need help, please seek professional care.